Good morning, Southeast Texas. I think it's been since early June. Macy has been talking about wanting the fall season to arrive here in Southeast Texas. And good news, coming up this Sunday morning at 7:43, once we sweep the leaves away, fall begins here in Southeast Texas and also in the Northern Hemisphere. So we're going to start to see slowly changing conditions. Hopefully sooner rather than later, we get a little bit cooler temperatures here as well here in Southeast Texas. So what happens during the fall? Of course, Sunday being the start of fall is the autumnal equinox, which starts again 7:43 a.m. As we take a look at the globe and see exactly how this all plays out for us, as we look, the sun during the summertime is in the Northern Hemisphere, north of the Tropic of Cancer. As that sun retreats back to the south towards the equator, we get to this day coming up this Sunday where the sun is directly over the equator. At that point, that means that days are the same length, both days and nights, about 12 hours in proximity. Now, a little further to the north, those days are still a little bit longer, but as we continue through the winter months, those days will get a little bit shorter and the sun will push a little further south of the equator. That is what happens during the fall. The sun pushes away from the northern hemisphere down to the south, where in the southern hemisphere, it becomes spring and eventually summer. So that is kind of the science explanation of why we get the season of fall here across the northern hemisphere. And again, that starts on Sunday. So the other thing that we see some here in Southeast Texas, but maybe not as much as we do in the northern portions of the country, we're talking about changing leaves. Now, why do the leaves change? And that's a good question. Typically here in Southeast Texas, we see green leaves most of the season. But as we take a look, the chlorophyll that is in the leaves tends to break down, and that leaves other chemicals which help turn those leaves different colors. We get yellow, we're talking about the chemical xanthophyll. That helps to create those gold colors. If you're looking at orange leaves, it's carotene that's left in the leaves after the chlorophyll leaves, and the red leaves, it's anthocyanin. Also, the green, the orange, the yellows, and the reds, all primarily during the fall season. But again, once you lose the chlorophyll, that's when you start to lose some of the changing colors as far as leaves go here in Southeast Texas. And again, because our temperatures don't really cool off that much, we don't see a whole lot of the changing colors maybe as you do up north. It's the bright colors that are more likely when the summer is dry, and for the most part our summer has been dry, but the autumn is sunny days and cool nights. And we haven't really had cool nights. So again, if you're looking out to forecast whether or not we're going to see some changing leaves, it's probably going to be green until late in the fall, and then we'll start to turn those leaves a little bit brown. A note for you, if you're looking forward to daylight savings time coming to an end, that happens on November 3rd.